First name is Kaelin Scull, S-C-U-L-L.
How are you employed?
I'm a detective with the Tampa Police Department,
How long have you been with the Tampa Police Department?
approximately 14 years.
What unit are you currently assigned to?
I'm assigned to a Firearm Investigations Unit,
How long have you been in the Firearms Investigation Unit?
approximately 6 years.
What prior assignments at the Tampa Police Department did you have before being put in the Firearms Investigation Unit?
I was assigned to a narcotics unit and patrol with street crimes unit.
As part of the Firearms Investigative Unit, are you also a member and cross-designated as a member of the ATF Task Force?
Yes, I am.
What are your duties as an ATF Task Force officer?
We investigate violent crimes and with firearm cases, commercial robbery cases, long-term trafficking cases with firearms, any violent nexus to a crime involving a gun.
Does your unit respond to homicide scenes?
Yes, we do.
What type of homicide cases does your unit respond to?
Anything that homicide will ask for our assistance on, usually it's either mass shootings or 3 or more people, any high-profile case that they may deem may be high-profile at the time, or anything that they need assistance on from the ATF.
Did you respond to the home to suites located at 11606 McKinley Drive in Tampa, Florida?
I did.
Did you respond to that area on June 23rd of 2024?
Yes.
What time did you approximately arrive at that location?
It was just before 9 o'clock, around 8:45 or so.
Was there already law enforcement presence in the area at that time?
Yes, there was.
Can you describe the type of law enforcement presence at that time?
When I arrived on scene, I parked on Fowler Avenue in the grass area, side of the road. There was approximately 10 or 12 law enforcement vehicles already there. There was a large, I observed crime scene tape around the perimeter of the hotels. I saw multiple law enforcement members, crime scene vans, stuff like that.
When you first arrived, did you meet with other officers from the Tampa Police Department for a briefing?
When I first arrived, I met with the officer holding the perimeter. He had a crime scene log, so I checked in. Then went over and talked to the homicide unit, which I believe was the sergeant at the time, Rachel Cholnick, and then another detective from my unit, which is Detective Michael McNamara.
Sergeant Rachel Cholnick, she is the sergeant of the homicide division, is that correct?
That is correct, yes.
And you said you also met with Detective McNamara with your unit?
I did, yes.
Were you at that time apprised of the investigation of what had occurred prior to you arriving?
Limited information. I was told that there was a deceased individual in the vehicle. I was told that he had maybe a rapper from Jacksonville area. And then there was the scene had started in the back of the hotel from where I originally arrived to meet with detective and sergeant.
What did you do at the scene?
After I was briefed on limited information, I kind of just walked the scene. I was looking for 2 other special agents with ATF I was told that were en route. Wasn't sure if they were on scene yet or not. Went around to where the shooting had initiated, which is the front of the hotel, and met with street crime units from Tampa Police Department.
I'm going to show you it's already into Evidence States Exhibit 1. Can you take a look behind you and see that? I'm going to blow it up a little bit. You said, where did you first come in at and where did you park?
Want to stand? Or
Yes, absolutely.
So this is Fowler Avenue here. This little grass area in front of this is the sidewalk. This is where I parked, and this is where all the law enforcement vehicles were kind of stayed because they could not get into the hotel itself.
Okay. And you said that you entered the crime scene, is that correct?
I did. I walked down to the grass area, walked to this opening here, which is the drive, and then met under some trees, which was, I believe it's this area here, the street on the right side in front of the hotel.
Where did you do your walkthrough?
So when I arrived and met with them, there was a black Dodge Charger that was situated between Holiday Inn and those tree lines there, which I believe is where the victim was in the vehicle. And then I kind of walked down, I saw a path of what I believe to be vehicle fluid from either a radiator or a transmission coming all the way down this little grass area in between the 2 hotels, through the grass, all the way down And I kind of made my way where the initiated shooting was, which is in front where it says Sarah's Amiga Natural Horse Training, this little overhang here.
Okay.
And then the crime scene, or the street crime unit were kind of in that side of the parking lot, and I met with Detective Andrew Trotter.
When you met with Detective Trotta, was there some damage to a vehicle that was pointed out to you?
There was, yes.
What sort of vehicle was it? And can you point out on State's Exhibit 1, this diagram, where it was parked and located?
It was a yellow, I believe it was a Ford Bronco, or I'm sorry, maybe yellow or light orange. You can see a small little vehicle in these parking spots here. Maybe it was the second or third open available space there.
And did you note any sort of damage to that vehicle after you were alerted by Detective Trotta?
I did.
I'm going to show you what's been marked for identification, State's Exhibit 17A through D. Did I previously show you these photographs?
Yes.
And do these photographs fairly and accurately represent that yellow vehicle that had sustained damage by a projectile and where it was located at the time on June 23rd of 2024?
It does.
Your Honor, at this time, we introduce into evidence States 16A through K.
Any objection?
No objection.
Oh, it's 17A through K, I apologize.
Okay. Okay, admitted.
And you said previously on State's Exhibit 1, it was parked in this area in the lower kind of center of the picture where there's some parking spaces near this kind of grassy field.
That is correct, yes.
What is in 17A?
That's the yellow Ford Bronco.
17B, is that a close-up of the tag?
Yes, it is.
And then 17C, in this photograph, can you see where the damage from the projectile strike is on the vehicle?
Yes.
Can you stand up and point it out where it is and describe the location?
Directly above the gas tap door. It's a different color than the paint color, it's silver color.
This area right here?
Yes, that's where the projectile entered the vehicle.
And then 17D,
Same projectile, just a close-up of it.
and can you tell us what it is? Is there any significance to this particular photograph?
Yes, it seems the entry point of the projectile entered from the front of the vehicle towards the back of the vehicle.
So if you go back to 17C, where would be the location of the shooter when they are firing this particular projectile?
It's my belief that they were in front of the vehicle, firing towards the back of the vehicle.
And then again, going back to 17D, can you show what is the basis of that?
You can see the projectile, how it's like an arrow-type shape. It enters the vehicle on this portion here, scrapes the side of the vehicle, and actually enters to the back portion.
Then I'm going to go put State's Exhibit 1 again. So based on this photograph, can you kind of tell us the general area where the shooter would have been at that point when that yellow vehicle was struck?
My belief would be somewhere in this light-colored area near the parking spot in the grass, maybe either on the parking bumper, in the grass, or just in front of the vehicle itself.
You can go ahead and have a seat. After you saw the damage to that particular vehicle, did you yourself start looking for casings that could have been left behind by the shooter in that area, that general area where you believe the shooter would have had to stand in order to make that projectile strike?
I did.
Were you able to find any sort of casings in that area?
No, I was not.
After you saw the damage to the vehicle, did you alert the crime scene investigators so that they could take photographs and document the area as well as the damage to that vehicle?
Yes.
Were you also asked to assist in narrowing down a vehicle that was located in the Home to Suites video footage?
Yes, I was.
Were you able to look and see a vehicle that was a black Chevy Impala and asked to see whether or not you could narrow down the year of that vehicle?
I was told on scene that the belief was a later year model vehicle. My belief it was earlier than that, so I did some research on it.
Can you tell the jury how it is that you research the vehicle and what sort of databases you're looking at to kind of narrow down the field and the year of that particular vehicle that is being showed in the surveillance video from Home to Suites?
Yeah, so I saw the video of the vehicle, realized it was a Chevrolet Impala, believed it was a between a 2006 to 2000 maybe 15 or so vehicle. Researched the generations within that Chevy model, realized it was a 9th generation model Impala. Those years were 2006 to 2013. I pulled up all of the trim levels on a 2006 to 2013 Chevrolet Impala, which are LS, LT, and LTZ, and I broke down which each exterior characteristics are for each trim. I put all those on a spreadsheet and then looked at the trims for each year, looked at the video again, and I noticed some identifiers in the exterior vehicle that were not in each year of the trim or each trim itself. I narrowed it down to an LTZ trim based on a GM emblem that is on the front quarter panel of the vehicle, which was only on 2008 and 2009. I also saw that it was the upgraded wheels on the LTZ, which is a different year than the 2007. It was a 2008 wheel because the spokes were a little bit wider. It had the rear spoiler, which is on the 2008 and 2009 vehicle. And then I noticed that it had potentially body color matching door handles from the video. There was a little bit of light on the door handles, so I wasn't sure if they were chrome or body color matching. Through the research of the LTZ, the 2008 and 2009, 2008 had body color, 2009 had chrome, so I nailed down my search to an 08 or 09 Chevrolet Impala. I then, through my research, was told that they were from Jacksonville, so I took the VIN, researched.
Let me stop you right there.
Sorry.
That's okay. So did you have an interest in cars before becoming a member of the Tampa Police Department?
Yes.
How long have you been interested in cars?
Well, I'm 42 now, so since I was a small kid, so.
So you have talked about some different trims that are available on the Chevy Impala, is that correct?
That is correct, yes.
And based on you researching the different types of features on the particular vehicle that is depicted in the Home to Suites video, you could narrow it down to the year based on the particular year and model and the features and the trim that were available that were unique to each year. Is that correct?
That is correct, yes.
And so far, based on the appearance of that black Chevy Impala, you said that you were able to narrow it down to 2008 and 2009. Is that correct?
That is correct, yes.
Now, I want to ask you, now you've mentioned the VIN. Is there unique numbers in the VIN that correspond to trim features?
Yes, the 4th through 8th digit in the trim correspond to trim levels on particular vehicles.
So is that how you're able to come up with a potential VIN number for our suspect vehicle?
Yes, that is correct.
Now, I imagine there's more than one 2008 or 2009 black Chevy Impala, so are you getting more than one VIN?
Yes, I researched the VINs and broke down the LTZ trim within the VIN number and was able to verify that the trim for LTZ is the letters W and U in the VIN number.
Okay. So that is how you're coming up with a possible selection of vehicles that may have been involved in this particular case and may be the black Chevy Impala in the Home to Suites video. Is that correct?
That is correct.
Sustain as to leading.
Okay. After you come up with the VIN, are you asked, is there a further way that you can narrow down your search to possible Dodge Chargers relevant to this investigation?
You mean Impalas?
Yeah, what did I say?
Charger. Impalas.
I meant Impala. That's correct.
And can you repeat the question again? Sorry.
Yes. What did you do after you were able to get VIN numbers in the state of Florida to that particular LTZ trim of 2008 and 2009 black Chevy Impalas, how could you further narrow it down to be relevant to this particular investigation?
So I researched a website we have access to in law enforcement. It's a DMV website. I inputted 2008, 2009 Chevrolet Impala with LTZ trim black, and then selected Duval County, which is overseas Jacksonville.
And why are you selecting Duval County?
I was told originally that the suspect may be from Jacksonville because the victim was from Jacksonville.
When you access that database, how many vehicles, black Chevy Impalas, did it become narrowed down to at that point?
3.
After you had 3 black Chevy Impalas, LTZ trim, between 2008, 2009, is there further analysis that the Tampa Police Department can do to assist in further narrowing it down?
There is. We utilize license plate readers. I provided my 3 vehicles to an analyst with homicide, who was Brittany Jackson. I told her these are the vehicles that I was able to populate and come up with, and then I was later told that there was a confirmation of a vehicle.
One of those 3 that actually were picked up on a license plate reader in Tampa during the weekend of the homicide, is that correct?
Yes.
Okay. And was that for the black Chevy Impala LTZ trim for Florida tag number 68DLWD?
Yes.
Now, does your member as the ATF task force, do you also sometimes assist in being able to collect shell casings to determine whether or not DNA can possibly be collected and identified on shell casings from a crime scene?
Yes,
Was that done in this particular case?
it was.
Were you notified that there were 31 shell casings that had been collected, 31 9mm shell casings that had been collected at this particular crime scene?
I was.
Did ATF, and your role in ATF, did they eventually collect 30 of those 31 shell casings?
They did.
And was it for what specific purpose?
The 30 were going to go to an ATF national lab for analysis. 1 was left over for other investigation purposes.
And if they are going to be tested for DNA and DNA analysis, is there a special packaging that those shell casings have to be packaged in?
There is.
Can you describe that for us?
Yeah, it's a black plastic cylinder tube. It has points inside of it that hold a casing. What that is for is so it doesn't rattle around. It can't touch any other items within a bag or anything. Basically preserves the DNA within that collection tube.
Okay. Protect the integrity of the evidence that may be contained on that shell casing. Is that correct?
That is correct.
And one of the shell casings was to remain in Tampa Police Department. Is that correct, for them to do their own testings and comparisons?
It was.
And at some point, did you assist with the transporting of the shell casings back to Tampa Police Department custody after the testing had been completed?
I did.
Can you tell the jury how those shell casings are transported from the scene, and where is the testing done for ATF?
So the typical process is we collect crime scene collects the tubes. They're put into, crime scene does their thing with the tubes. They put them in bags, package them. Then as agents and task force officers will remove those casings within their packaging. We will transport them through commercial airline to Maryland, and then directly hand them to an analyst or a biology supervisor at the national lab with ATF.
And what the lab is testing for, what is the lab testing for when they're doing this process?
Their initial process is just to see if there's presence of DNA on a casing to begin, if they have enough to move forward with further analysis.
And was that done in this particular case?
Yes, it was.
For all of the 30 shell casings that was sent to ATF in Maryland?
Yes, it was.
And was there any DNA that was found to be suitable for DNA testing or comparison to any suspect?
I'm not sure on that one.
Did you, were you the one that got back the report from the ATF lab in Maryland?
I was not, no.
Okay. Would that have been another ATF agent in your unit?
It would have been either the agent that submitted the casings or a designee with Tampa PD that he would have told the supervisor to forward the report to.
And would the case detective, Detective Juan Ramos, would he also have been made aware of the results of the ATF testing?
Yes, that is, that should happen, yes.
Your Honor, at this time, we would pass the witness.
Okay, cross-examination.
Good afternoon, Detective.
Good morning,
Or
sir.
good morning,
Yes, sir.
Detective. You're an ATF task force agent, is that correct?
Yes, I
That
am.
means you're employed by the county, city, but you work hand in hand with the federal government.
Yes.
All right. And you said you've been doing that for how long?
I've been with ATF for approximately 6 years.
All right. And you met with the ATF agents, the other ATF agents that were working this case on the scene. You met with them, correct?
I did, yes.
And you discussed the case.
We discussed not kind of what we were seeing on scene that morning. We really didn't know what the reason for the shooting was, but we were just discussing what we saw on scene, how many casings there were, and kind of just going over investigative tools or tactics we could use to try to help homicide.
All right. Did ATF collect the casings, the 31 casings, or did Tampa Police Department crime scene techs collect those casings?
Tampa PD crime scene collects casings.
All right, and they're put into a special, like a container?
Yeah, it's a black plastic tube. It's not a full cylinder tube. It has openings on it so DNA can breathe. And then inside it has these little, I don't know what you call them, but they're almost like a bracket, so the casing is held in its place the entire time it's in that tube.
All right, and though it's kept in that tube for what purpose?
So it can't be rattled around or moved, and DNA can't be compromised.
All right, so that tube is to protect the integrity of that evidence.
Correct, yes.
All right, so when you all are putting the casings into the tube, I assume the person that's handling the casings has on gloves?
That'd be crime scene, but yeah, that would be my assumption.
All right, and you don't have any reason to believe that anyone was not wearing gloves when they were handling the casings, is that correct?
Oh, I don't have any part in that collection, so I wouldn't be able to accurately answer that question.
All right. The ATF, federal government, you all refer cases to them at times, right?
Tampa PD can refer cases to ATF. We adopt cases that are state cases, and we adopt them federally, yes.
All right. And that was a conversation that was had in this case?
No, this case was not adopted federally, to my
What?
recollection.
Yes, it was not adopted. The federal government did not pick up this case, correct?
That's my belief, yes.
All right. And the DNA that was submitted, or the casings that were submitted to ATF, they were tested for DNA?
Presence of DNA, yes.
Or analyzed to see whether there's DNA on the casings?
Correct.
What about for fingerprints?
I don't know that answer.
Don't. Okay. All right, and obviously you said you did not get the report back from Maryland.
That is correct.
And when you say from Maryland, that means from the ATF.
The National Lab, correct.
So that's why you don't know why or whether there was any DNA that was of value on the casings.
That is correct.
All right. All right, no further questions.
Okay, you correct?
No, Your Honor.
Okay, very good. May this witness be excused?
Yes.
Okay, thank you. You're free to go.
Your Honor, may I go very briefly?
Sure. All right, call your next witness.